Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Warm welcome in the 5th module of the week 3 of the course titled Roadmap for Patent Creation, How to Read Patent Part 3. This video is a continuation with previous 2 modules where we have been discussing how to read a patent. Already we have covered the reading of the patent document and we have come up to we have discussed that brief summary and now we will continue further. After the successful explanation of the invention in the summary, it is followed by the brief description of our drawings. So, we have checked in the first 2 modules, that is related to how to read a patent. We have seen that how it is started from the field of invention, then background is given, then summary of the invention is given. Now, the next part is a brief description of a drawings. Now, in this section it is expected to list down all the brief information about the drawings. Whatever number of drawings are present in the document, the brief information can be given in this section. This brief information includes figure number, then that what is the title of that figure. So, and if you want you can give a little bit information about the figure, but the mandatory part is that figure number and the title. In this section the techno-legal expert explains what each drawing indicates. For understanding this part to the fullest, it should be advisable to keep the drawing sheet beside the section. So, you can just keep the drawing sheets. You have now the whole patent document with you, just keep the drawing sheets with you. In the reference document, we can see that the 13 paragraphs are included to describe various parts of the invention through separate figures. It also points out the way of working or carrying out of a particular technology which is claimed. Providing drawing helps in explaining the patent specification. Enclosing the brief description of the drawing is very helpful in understanding the claims. Drawing should always be properly described. So, we will just see the reference document. So, just go through that reference document and see what it is written there. So, here if you see the brief description of the drawings, you can see here it is started with this para number 15 and it is ending here at this para, that is a para 27. So, total 12 figures are there. By seeing this information, you can make out, okay, this patent document have total 12 figures. Now, so it gives you the information that, okay, figure 1, it is a front perspective view of an oral care system including a toothbrush and a fluid dispenser according to one embodiment of the present invention, wherein the dispenser is detachably coupled to the toothbrush in the storage state. This is what the figure 1 is. Now, you can just relate it with the figures you are having and you can check which is that figure 1 is. Now, similarly, see this figure 7, it is a transverse cross sectional view of the fluid dispenser of figure 5, wherein a cap is detachably coupled to a dispenser. So, for example, if you see the figure 7, you can see here this is the figure 7 and this figure 7, what is written here about this figure 7? It says that It is a transverse cross sectional view of the fluid dispenser. Then you can see that this figure 8, suppose if you check this figure 8, this is the figure 8. Now, what is written about this figure 8 here? It is a transverse cross sectional profile of the opening of the toothbrush of the oral care system of figure 3 taken along view, and then this the information is given. So, similarly you can check out for remaining these figures. Okay. So, all these 12 figures are explained here briefly under the brief description of the drawings, and it is ends here like a figure 12 is a close up of a area, and that area is shown in related to the figure 11. Now, you can make out in the figure 11 what exactly this figure 12 close up area is there, and that area is explained in the figure 12. Okay. So, this is a figure 11 and this is the figure 12, right, and here that is a what is a close up area of a close up area is shown here, right. So, this is what the figure 12 is. Once the drawing are explained, it is preceded by a detailed description of the invention. In this section, the inventor explains the invention part in detail. This is a section where working of the invention is explained. This is the part of the whole document where we find minute details related to the invention. The technological expert gets this space to accurately explain not just the parts of the document, but the whole invention as a unit rather than a separate parts. The inventor has to describe the invention fully in operation or in use and a method of using it. Again here inventor means a technological expert explains it how the fully this invention works. In detailed description, base method of carrying out of the invention, if any, it should be obviously mentioned here. For explaining best mode requirement for chemical reaction involving at a specific temperature, it may not disclose the exact degree of temperature. However, a narrow range covering the exact temperature may be disclosed. So, suppose the invention is related to chemistry and a particular reaction is to be carried out at a particular temperature, then in that case here what it is done is that instead of giving that optimum temperature, a narrow range at which the particular invention works is mentioned. Then the best mode requirement does not require applicant to disclose absolutely the best way of carrying out an invention, but surely require key aspects of the whatever the invention is related to. So, again here when the technological expert explains the best method, he may not give you the exact information about the invention, that exact best method, he may not able to explain that thing here, but he can give you the key aspects related to the invention. This description generally never contain any irrelevant or the other matter which is not necessary for the elucidation of the invention. Additional requirement to be complied for the invention mentioning the biological material. So, for example, if the invention is related to the biological material, or here if inventor want to disclose the amino acid sequence, then in such case what happen, applicant may mention the source of a biological material, rather it is mandatory to mention the source of the biological material. So, that information also you will get in the detailed information, that is which is the source of a biological material. Generally the reference of deposition can be given in this part. So, one more thing, when a biological invention is there, it is mandatory that if that microorganism is there, for example, then you should deposit that the culture of that microorganism in the authority that which is allowed under the patent system. So, for example, in India there are two authorities which are recognized by the patent office. Which are these? One is a National Center for Cell Sciences, that is NCCS. It is in the University of Pune in Maharashtra, and second is a Microbial Type Culture Collection and a Gene Bank, that is a MTCC. It is here in the Chandigarh, that is a Institute of Microbial Technology, MTech. It is a CSIR laboratory in Chandigarh. So, these are the two authorities where it is these are the authorized what we can say the laboratories where the biological material you can deposit. So, for a biological invention, the two things are mandatory. You have to mention the source from where you are taking that biological material, and second you have to deposit the biological material. And wherever you are depositing that biological material, you have to mention it in the patent document. So, in the patent document where you are going to mention it, you are mentioning into the detailed description part. So, anybody if he want to work out on that particular biological material, they can contact these authorities and they can get the sample and they can work on it. So, here the source is mentioned. So, it is expected that the all available characteristic of the material to be correctly identified or indicated are included in the specification, including the name, address, depository institution, the date, number of deposit of the material at that institution, along with disclosure about the source and the geographical origin of that biological material. So, all this information you are giving in the detailed description. So, we have seen something about some information about chemical reaction. So, here you have to give the temperature related things, you can give a biological material, what information you have to disclose, that information you can find it in the detailed description. This detailed description section follows the summary section of a patent specification and completely describes the invention under consideration. Description of the invention includes a written disclosure that explains in clear and concise terms how to make and practice the invention so as to support the working of the invention. The detailed description is written such that it is understood by anyone who possesses ordinary skill in the art and can use the invention. The detailed description should enable an ordinary person to develop the necessary technical know-how to make the invention work. The section should disclose the details of the invention such that the best mode to practice the inventive concept is clearly laid down. The nature of improvements or modifications of the invention with respect to prior art, it should be mentioned and it should be sufficiently described here. The section should clearly highlight the preferred embodiments of the invention. A preferred embodiment is a physical structure of the invention and it refers how various elements of the invention connect with each other to perform the desired job. In case of invention is a process, the method of conducting the invention, it should be described. Each invention can have a multiple embodiments that describes one or more structures possible for that invention. As mentioned before, the detailed description should describe the best mode of practicing the invention. The best mode does not need to be literally the most efficient way of carrying out the invention, but rather mention what the inventor believes to be the best method known at that time of at that time of the filing of the patent application. Each invention can have one or more implementations. An implementation depicts multiple features of an invention and how various elements of the feature combined together to show the desired effect. The detailed description, it should support every element and feature that need to be protected protected by this patent application. The invention should also fulfill the criterion of enablement, wherein the invention is described in the extent necessary to be enabling with the sufficient detail to satisfy the written description. The detailed description section, it gives you the complete picture of the invention. This detailed description starts with overview of the invention, can clarify the improvements, modifications in the invention over the prior art, and then describe the multiple embodiments and implementations of the invention, and then the various structural and functional aspects of the invention. This description should be in such a way that it is sufficient for an average person who is skilled in the art to perform the invention by developing the necessary technical know-how by himself. So, this patent document follow the certain pattern. So, you can see the different documents, means if a chemical document is chemistry related invention is there, there is a certain pattern. If biology related invention is there, then there is a certain pattern. If mechanical invention is there, that is mechanical engineering related invention is there, then there is a certain pattern. What exactly is covered here? Briefly, we can say that the document should cover everything related to the invention, all technical details related to that invention. So, for example, if it is related to chemistry, they should mention all that chemical processes whatever involved, what is the best method. If there are different compositions, they can mention the different composition, that possible compositions are there. So, this is a one kind of patent document you can find out. If biological invention is there, you can find out that description about that biological material, that source, then where it is deposited. Then you can find out the working by using that, suppose amino acid sequence is there, then how it works, or if that microorganism is there, then how you can use that microorganism, that information will be given. Suppose the invention is related to mechanical engineering, then what it will cover? It will cover that particular machine is there, then how that machine exactly operates, what are the different parts are there. So, in that way the invention, that whether domain specific invention, will be there, and as per the domain the description part will change. Now, again, to substantiate that description, relevant diagrams will be there. So, for example, if anyone want to describe the machine or any object, they can explain it with the help of drawings. So, there will be the drawing part which will be attached to that patent document. Now, there are rules and regulations to draw a drawing in the patent document. For example, you have now seen the drawing in your reference document. You can see the drawing and you can see the marking as numbers. So, there are the numbers which are marked, and then you can see, now whenever we will see the reference document, you can check that with each figure that number is referred and that number is explained in detail, that okay, what exactly this part is. So, in that way figures will help you to give the detailed description about that particular object or that particular machine. Okay. So, this section, it substantially if you see, considering the rules and regulation, you should remember that this is the part of the document you cannot substantially amend. Claim part you can amend based on the examiner report, but here if you want to if you consider this detailed description part, it is not allowed. Generally you cannot substantially amend once the application has been filed. So, you can see through the sections 57 to 59 of the Patent Act, it allows amendment of the specification, but it can be done only by means of an explanation or correction or disclaimer. So, You have to be very careful when you are drafting the detailed description. Some words such as, I quote, in a disclosed embodiment, or I quote again, in a preferred embodiment, you may find in the document and are used generally to enhance the scope of the claim. So, such kind of words you can find in the detailed description. At the end of detailed description, generally you may find the areas of application. So, now you can say that the detailed description, the complete explanation is given, then at the end you will say the application, where exactly this invention is useful, industrial applicability of the invention. So, you can see that to establish the novelty part, the background is given, then in the detailed description what exactly the invention is explained, and to explain that industrial applicability, in the last paragraph you can see that the applications are given. In this section, the patent specification can substantiate the industrial applicability of the invention and protect the subject matter against a duplication of the invention in related fields. Advantages of the invention can also be described in this part of the specification. So, you can have a pretty well idea that what exactly this detailed description is there. This is the major part of the patent document. So, let us see what that reference document, in the reference document how it is described. So, let us see the reference document. So, check here, this is the detailed description of the invention, and now you can see here it is starting from this 28th paragraph, and then it is now continued till you can see that, because these all many pages are explaining the detailed description of the invention, and then it is ending here at the para, that is a 72. So, in all these paragraphs what exactly is explained is that the various diagrams which are present, we have seen there are total 12 diagrams are present in the document. So, these all diagrams, that is all these figures which are explained here, these are the drawings, and these drawings are explained here in this document. I will just read this para 28. The following description of the preferred embodiment is merely exemplary in nature and is no way intended to limit the invention, its application or uses. So, you can see how carefully it is written, that they are saying that this preferred embodiment is merely a exemplary and no way intended to limit the invention, its applications or its uses. So, again the scope of the invention is kept broad, and it is clearly mentioned that with this description you should not narrow down the scope of the invention, it is a exemplary. Okay. And then it starts with the description of illustrative embodiments according to the principles of the present invention, and then it continues giving the information, and then it goes on till the, what we can say, it explains this figure, then it continues explaining that all figures in detail. You can check out here, everything is explained in minute detail, so that what can anybody, the person who is skilled in the art, can just read this document and able to work out on this patent document, that is expected. So, we will just go on to the last page here. You can just go through this whole document, how it is written. You can check how the techno-legal language is used here, how the numbers are referred clearly and what that numbers are. You can just check out this part, and then you can just carefully see that minutely every part is explained up to this, and here it concludes that or completes the detailed description. Just refer the diagram. Now, I will just show you. In the diagram, if you see, there are specific numbers mentioned here. Now all these numbers which are mentioned here are already referred into the detailed description. Whatever the diagrams are there, whatever the drawings are there, all these numbers you can find out in the detailed description. Now whenever you are reading the patent document, when it starts with say figure 11, then you just see the figure 11 description here and then just see which are the different numbers and what the different parts are there. And in that way we have to understand what exactly is explained in the patent document with respect to that particular number. And then you can just go on reading this and then you can get the idea about this whole object, whatever you are trying to understand through that patent document. Okay. So, this is whole about the detailed description. The detailed description of invention is done, then next comes with the claims. That is we can say the last part of the patent document. So, we have seen the detailed description, the figures are explained there, figure drawings, whatever you can say, the figures it is written in the figure number, drawings are attached there, use that drawings to understand that detailed description. We have read that detailed description. Now, the next part is the claim. Claim is the most important part of the patent document. We say that it is a heart of the patent document. Claim is where the drafting skills, fineness can be seen in the draft. Very skillfully you have to draft the claim part of the patent document. One has to be very careful and skilled in constructing the claims. This section of the document defines the sort of protection given to the invention. So, the language used while drafting the claim set the boundaries of the invention. Now, what is that boundaries of invention? You have seen that if the land is there, for the land you have a particular boundary, right? You have that fencing or that wall is there and you can understand, okay, that this is the limit of that land and all that thing, and the owner is to that owner of that particular land is okay, you can just define it by the wall, fencing. How you can do in the patent document? The claim is the part where you can have the, what we can say, the scope of that invention, that is defined through this claim part. So, it is meant to set the legal scope of the invention. Claims can protect the part or invention as a whole. So, on a part or a portion of the invention can be used without infringing the patent. One should try to have broad claims as possible, but here it is something tricky. When one drafts broad claims, they might get objections from the examiner. Also, if you draft a narrow claim, you might give a scope for others to invent or claim around the invention. So, you have to make a balance between that broad claim and narrow claim. Claim should define the subject matter which needs the protection. It should be very clear, concise and must have description along with it. So, whatever mentioned in the description, it should be covered in the claim. If it is not covered in the claim, that part of the description goes into the public domain without protection. I repeat, if the description part covers something, it is written in the document, in the description if somebody has written something, but if it is not claimed in the claims, then that part will not get a legal protection and that part goes into the public document. So, that while drafting the patent document, the care should be taken that whatever described in the patent document must be covered in the claim to get the protection. Claim should always focus on the technicalities and not the commercial advance. One should never include any sort of a commercial advance in the claim. There are three parts in the claim. These parts are not vividly distinct, but have a thematic sequence. The first part being the preamble. Here, the preamble one identifies as to which category the invention falls in. It sets up the introduction of the claim and should have a title of the invention. As we can see in the reference patent document, it first separates and jot down what are they claiming, and then later it claims they explain each and every claim in the detail with the description. After preamble, it comes the transitional part, which is said to be the either open-ended or it may be close-ended. What is meant by open-ended and close-end? Open-ended claims does not give away any additional element. Everything is included in the claim. Phrases like comprising is an open-ended claim. In the close-ended claim, you can see the word like a consisting of. So, if it is a comprising, you can say that it is an open-ended claim. If it is a consisting of, it is limiting the claim. That body of the claim follow the transitional phase. In body of a claim, the invention and its part are explained in harmony. They explain that how it works in relation to one another. It mentions the various elements and limits the claim. It contains the rules to be followed. There are some rules to be followed while writing the claim. So, for example, there will be a comma between the preamble and a transition phase, colon after the transitional phase, then semicolon after each of the element, then word and may be used after the semicolon of a second element. So, there are some rules how to write the claim. We will not go in details of that, but just understand that claim is the heart of the patent document. Whatever you have described in the patent document, it must be covered in the claim. Claim gives the legal protection. So, that much what we can say we should know about the claim. So, while reading we should know that this is the very much important part, this is the most important part of the patent document. So, let us see the document. So, here we have come up to this and we have seen that this is the detailed description. Now, we see claim part. Generally, it starts with either I claim or we claim. It depends on the number of inventor. If inventor is only one, then it will be I claim. If there are more than one inventor, it will come as a we claim. Then you can see the numbers, that is claim 1, claim 2, claim 3, claim 4, then this 5, 6, 7, 8. So, you can say that for this document there are total 8 claims. Then there are rules regarding how many claims should be there, like that. So, generally 10 claims are allowed without any additional fee. If there are more than 10 claims, then you have to give the extra fee for that. We will not go in details of that now, but you just understand that there are total 8 claims in this document. Now, see here how it is starting: an oral care system. Again the reference is given of that drawing. Then it says a comprising, that it is a open ended, you can easily say, and then there is a colon, there is a colon here, and then it lists down different parts: a toothbrush, a dispenser, a cap. So, it lists down the different parts of that oral care system, and this each element here you can see it is separated by the semicolon, right. So, in this way this is the first claim drafted. Then you can say, we will read the second claim. What it says: the oral care system 100 as claimed in claim 1. So, the reference is made to the first claim, and then it says the further things related to that particular thing in that object of the invention. Then again you can say it is that claimed in 2. Now, it is referring to the claim 2. So, you can see that second claim is referring to the first claim, third claim is referring to the second claim. Then see how it is written: the oral care system as claimed in any one of the claims 1 to 3 wherein. So, now you have to refer that 1 to 3 and then read to the next lines. Then it says that this claim 5th it refers to the claim 4, right. So, here it is referring to claim 4 and explaining something about the object. Now, check this. Here the oral care system has claimed in one claim. Now, it is directly again referring to claim 1. So, whenever the claim is explained, it can refer any of the earlier claims and then explain the relevant things related to that. And this way what we can say, just check this claim 8, I read it. The oral care system as claimed in claim 1, wherein the toothbrush comprises an opening forming a passageway into the cavity, comma, the opening having a first transverse cross sectional profile, comma, the cap having a portion having a second transverse cross sectional profile that does not entirely fit within the first transverse cross sectional profile, comma, and the dispenser having a housing having a third transverse cross sectional profile that fits entirely within the first transverse cross sectional profile, right. So, you can see this last claim, that is a 8 claim. Okay. So, in this way the claims are drafted and this gives you the legal what we can say protection for the patent document. Okay. There are various types of claims such as two-part claim or improvement claim or means plus function claim, Marcus claim, device claim, method claim and so on. We will not going into the details of that, what are the different types of claims, just understand that okay, these are the claims and this gives the legal protection to the patent. But you can understand claim type as an independent claim and a dependent claim. You can see in the patent document as a name suggests, independent claims are the claims which stands on its own and does not recite any other claim, while dependent claim as a name suggests are dependent on other claim and recite at least one another claim it may dependent on. So, you have seen as claimed in claim 1 or as claimed in claim 1 to 3, already we have seen that thing in the document. Now, you can check this document. After the claim comes the abstract. So, we have seen the claim part. Now, after that then it comes the abstract. This is the what we can say, if you see the patent document, you can see abstract on the first page of the patent document. So, there you can see that abstract is usually defines the invention in relation to the broadest claim, whatever the broadest claim, many a times broadest claim you can see as a abstract. So, abstract gives you the broad idea about the patent which belongs. So, what are the technical issues related to that technical domain are handled or resolved, it can be mentioned in the abstract. Now, you can check the abstract into the patent document, just check your document. So, here you can see in one of the diagrams here, see this is the abstract. What it is written? An oral care system comprising an oral care implement, and then it continues and then this is what the abstract of that particular document. You can go through, you can read this abstract. So, it gives you the pretty well idea about the what that particular invention is about. Okay. So, this is the abstract part. With this we have discussed the patent document and what one should keep in mind while reading the patent document. We have seen all the details, all the sections which are present in the patent document. Generally, if any patent document comes in your hand, what exactly you can do? So, we have now checked one by one what that patent document is. We have started with a first page, that is a bibliographic information is there. Then you have seen that okay, abstract is present on the first page. Then you can see how many claims are there, you can see that number on the first page. You can see one drawing in that particular first page. Also you can see how many total drawings will be there in the particular document, that also is mentioned on the first page. Then next you have seen that what is a field of invention, followed by the background, then it gives the brief summary. Then you have seen the information about the diagrams, that is number of drawings which are present in the document. Then you can see the detailed description of the invention, and then after that description you have seen the claims in the claims which are what is claimed from that or through this document, that part is seen. So, if as a what we can say, if you start reading that patent document, generally see when you see the research paper, what generally you do, you can check the abstract and then conclusion, and then you decide whether you want to read this research paper completely. So, what exactly you should do with the patent document, which part you should see. So, here you can check the first page, you can check the claim part. Remember well that generally as a what we can say, when we read a patent document, we will not believe on the abstract of the patent document. Not believe in a sense, many a times abstract is not that much informative and it may not give you the clear information about the invention. So, if you are going to read a patent document, you have to give importance to what? Read that first page, just see what information is given on the first page, the title, and that just go through the abstract, but do not believe on the abstract, do not rely on the abstract, go on to the claim part and just read that claims. Once you go through the claim, especially the first claim, once you read, you can understand what exactly this invention is about. Okay? And with after reading that claim, you can decide on whether this patent document is relevant to you or not. Again, if you want to confirm, so after that claim part, you can check the summary part of the invention. So, with research paper, generally what you follow, you check abstract, you believe on abstract. Obviously, abstract gives a clear cut idea about the research paper, but remember, it does not work in this way in the patent document. When we are reading the patent document, we are not believing on abstract, we are believing on claim part. So, you will read the first page including the abstract, then you will read the claim, that is the last page of the patent document, and then you will read the summary of the invention. By reading these three parts of that patent document, you can clearly make a judgment whether this patent document is relevant to your area or not. So, remember well that you have to follow the different way when you are reading with the patent document. You cannot follow the traditional way of reading the research paper when you are reading the patent document. Okay. So, I guess with this reading information, you have pretty well idea about how that patent document can be read. So, what I suggest that you can just check this reference patent document, then you can just take a keywords. Earlier in the module I have suggested you take that keywords, take out the patent documents and then read that patent document. So, you can get the idea how there will be a different style of writing, and you can just you can get accustomed with that different styles of writing. Now, suppose you are working in a particular domain, to know the patents in particularly in your area, you can use the keywords related to your domain, take out 1 or 2 patent document, not more than that, and just try to read now the patent document carefully. Okay. And then find out what exactly this patent document want to claim, what is that object of invention is, and find out that thing, that what exactly through that patent the techno-legal expert or inventor want to claim a right over what invention. Okay. So, after so much of technological and techno-legal document, reading, you just relax by seeing the interesting video here. Okay. So, with this we complete the how to read a patent document. We have purposely divided this into 3 parts because patent is a techno-legal document and it is little bit what we can say challenging, or when you are reading it first time, it may take some time to read that patent document. So, you can just remember when we have started first time reading a research paper, the same thing with the patent, you can just relate that thing. And when you read that patent document, you just follow these 3 videos sequentially and just try to reread the patent document. If you read a few patent document, you can easily understand how exactly it is written, and it may be very interesting for you to go through the patents which are in your area. And as said earlier, patent document gives you more information than the research paper, and this activity will definitely help you to find out a relevance or a state of the art in your area of domain or expertise. So, with this we complete the all modules in the week 3, and we will meet in the next module, that is in the week 4. Thank you.